Today we have here with us Kyle Garland with Rising Athletes. Thank you, Kyle Garland, for allowing us to come into your home to do this interview.
Of course, of course.
So what sparked your interest in becoming a decathlete?
That's actually a funny story. The way it happened, I was doing individual events until about the age of 14 when I was at my regional meet out in Stockton, New Jersey, and one of the officials actually came up to me and he was like, "You're doing all these individual events, why not try a multi-events?" When I was 14, in the age of 13, 14, I was doing the pentathlon, so that was my first year. They waved me into our next regional meet, the next round of regionals, and I excelled from there. My love slowly grew for the event, and I've been doing it ever since. And now I'm where I am today.
Name a track runner who you looked up to or admired growing up.
As most kids do, especially when they're sprinting, you have the top sprinters, Usain Bolt, Tyson Gay, those types of guys. But as my interest excelled into the multi-event world, I started falling in love with the sport and falling in love with becoming a student of the sport. So I became really intrigued by Ashton Eaton, the way he just conducts himself as a person, not just as an athlete, but outside of the track and field world. He's an all-around great person who's always looking to advance the community, and that's the type of person I am too in my heart. So just watching everything he does, picking up stuff that he does is what I love to do.
Was track and field the only sport you played growing up? And if not, what were the others?
It actually wasn't. I decided to make that decision to just focus on track and field after my freshman year. But in middle school, I was a free sport athlete, football, wrestling, and track. And then in my freshman year, I played football and ran track as well. But after my freshman year, I decided to really put all my time and effort into track and field. And it's gotten me to, again, where I am today.
So a decathlon is a 2-day competition, correct?
It is.
So can you describe in more detail of what this type of event looks like?
As you said, it's a 2-day event. On the first day, it consists of 5 events: the 100-meter dash, long jump, shot put, high jump, and the 400-meter dash to end off day 1. And day 2 is the 110 hurdles, the discus, pole vault, javelin, and the 1500. 1500 not being my most favorite, but I mean, all decathletes have to deal with that at the end. So that's how my 2 days go. It's a tiring 2 days, very gruesome. I'm usually the first one out at the track at probably about 7 o'clock in the morning to get my warm-ups in and everything, the proper amount of warm-ups, so that competition starts at 8 o'clock, and I'm usually the last one off too at around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So it's full days, full 12, 13-hour days, but it's what I love to do, and I wouldn't imagine being out there doing anything else.
Describe the experience traveling across the world with the USA team, competing with top athletes in a sport that you love, and breaking records while doing so.
It's really humbling. I thought it would be a totally different experience just going in, and I thought it would be all fun, but just seeing how dedicated everybody was, that forced my mind to really switch. It really forced my mind to flip into a different type of athlete. Just know that I have to be dedicated at all times, even though it's a lot of fun, and I have to remember that I'm having fun just because I'm still a young kid, still being 17. I got to remember to have fun, but at the same time, in the future, this is what I could be making money with. So just transitioning my mind into that next level type of aspect, just where I have to take everything seriously. This is my craft. This is what I do. Besides schoolwork, it's track and field for me. So this is what's gonna have me excel in future. So just seeing the way everybody else's mind works and how dedicated everybody else was, getting some experience from a lot of older athletes, some people that have already been at the world stage and a professional level as the coaches and such. Just taking little things from everybody is what really drove me to stay humbled about competing every day.
Do your workouts vary based on each event? If so, please briefly explain your various types of workouts.
During my off season, it's a lot more just based on building my base for my legs and my conditioning. So I've ran cross country the past 3 years just to really make me a lot stronger and to enhance my endurance. But once I get during the season, especially now that I have a decathlon in about 3 weeks, I'm really more event specific training. Some days I'll do about 2 to 3 events a day, just so that I can get the flow of things. So a lot of days I'll do speed endurance work, which will consist of going down to the art museum and running the hills there, or coming home like I did today and have a circuit workout out back where we do 6 different exercises or something like that, and then later this evening I'm going to do pole vault and maybe a little bit of throwing as well, just to transition my mind to know that I have to be strong and be powerful, but at the same time I still have 10 different events to be ready for. Just working every day on my craft is what my workouts consist of.
Out of the 10 events you participate in, which event do you enjoy the most?
At first, it would have been a no-brainer to say the high jump. That's one of the events, the specific events that not a lot of people do, that I started earliest. I started doing the high jump in 6th grade, but when I started doing the multis, the pentathlon, and the decathlon, once I got a little bit older, I had to move into hurdles. And as the years have progressed, my hurdle time has dropped. I'm currently ranked U.S. number 5 in the 110 hurdles right now, outdoors, with a time of 13:69. So just the way I'm able to progress in that, it allows me to fall in love with that event. So the high jump and hurdles, I'd have to say, are my favorite too.
Describe how you mentally prepare for an upcoming race.
It's funny. I'm a very superstitious guy, which a lot of people wouldn't think. So I mean, it all starts the night before a competition. I have to have everything laid out. My uniform has to just be laid out so that I know it's there. I have to get an ice bath and do yoga at the same time in that specific order: ice bath and then yoga afterward, or I just think something will be slightly off for me. But then I'm a huge guy on listening to music, so I always have my headphones plugged in at meets. Before I run, I just like to stay in tune, but that also allows me to stay very relaxed, stay very calm, because I know that once I get on the track, I can't worry about anything else or anyone else. It's me, myself, in my one lane, so that'll never change. I won't be running in anybody else's lane unless it's a 15, and we still have to worry about our own race. I can't worry about how anybody else will compete, or else that'll throw me off. So just until maybe 15 minutes before I compete, I always have my headphones in, and I'm just staying to myself, really getting my mind focused, and that's how I'm able to excel.
Describe any adversities that you've experienced which may have propelled you to go even harder on the field.
Well, like I said, I used to play football, and my reasoning for deciding to run track and field was not solely because I wanted to just run track, but actually I had some political difficulties with coaches and the way they wanted to coach their team, and where I thought I was on the football field. And I was talking to the coach, and he was talking a lot of stuff going into my freshman year. He was saying, "Oh, you'll be playing all the time. You'll be a starter. This is what you'll be doing. You'll be out here, and you'll be a huge impact to our team." And my freshman year came around, and I didn't get a second on the field. There's one game we actually have our Interact state championship meet at this school tomorrow, the Hill School. This was the only game I got in my freshman year, and I was in there for 22 seconds. I remember it vividly like it was yesterday. I thought I was really elated that I got on the field, but I looked at it and reflected on it, and I was like, man, like I wanted to play. I wanted to really be out there and really experience it with the guys, and I just couldn't. So I talked to the coach, and the coach told me and my dad both, which was probably the hardest thing I had to hear. He said, "You've had too much success in track and field up to this point, so we want to hold you back a little bit. We want you to really experience and try to learn before we can put you on." And me and my dad, that was really hard. I mean, I'm not an emotional person. Well, I am an emotional person, but I don't really show it. That was the first time I've actually showed my emotions. Some tears definitely were shed, and it took a lot of time for me to just process stuff on my own. But me and my dad realized, we were like, this is what you want to do. We're going to use what you're feeling right now, put that on the track. And now I'm where I am today, currently ranked number 1 under 18-year-old in the decathlon. I'm going to University of Georgia next year to compete in the decathlon on a full ride. So, I mean, it was a troubling experience for me, and it was really upsetting for me, and kind of broke my confidence a little bit, but I just had to build it up. And I mean, now I wish I could thank that coach for doing that for me, just because it's where I am today. And I mean, he sees how well I'm succeeding now. He's trying to get me to come back to play on the football team, but I'm just like, nah, y'all missed out. So this is what I'm doing now. That's where my mindset is.
Please talk about the transition in track and field from Germantown Academy to the USA team, and now moving on to college.
It's a great experience. Like I love going through the team that I'm with now at GA. It's a great family. We're learning to be together. We're learning to be close, and just me coming through that team and through that program, it makes a lot of people more dedicated to really participate in track like everybody. Once we get out to practice at days, like we're just always happy. We got music blasting and blaring and stuff, and we're just always jumping around and having a good time. But once we get on the track, it's all work, no play. Like we get on there and we're all driven. And me having that mindset going into the USA team, having the people on the USA team that have already had that mindset coming into this was just like, it boosted me to a whole nother level, and that's what's really allowing me and allows me to be so excited to go to UGA, because I know that by the time I'm done at UGA, I want to be at the top of that totem pole to be the best of all time to come through Georgia. So, I mean, just to transition from having my mindset strong from school to the USA team, and then now going into the future of my life, it's helped me a lot just going all the way through.
What does it mean to you by becoming a Georgia Bulldog at the University of Georgia this upcoming fall?
You know, it's crazy. I didn't think that the way the recruiting process would be. I didn't think it would be as heavy as it would be. I know that the top two sports, the football and the basketballs, are the crazy on their recruiting type. And I was getting a little bit discouraged, and my dad was getting, like, he saw me getting discouraged as well. He's like, just wait, you'll have your time. Where you're at, the recruiting will be the same. And I saw it. Like, the process started. I had 40+ schools contacting me like my junior year, and I was like, sheesh, like I didn't know it was gonna be like that. And I was like, it was a hard process. It was a crazy process, but when I narrowed it down, and I knew that Georgia was gonna be my school, it was that feeling of pride. I was like, this is where I want to be. This is home for me. It's like, and I know I have to feel most comfortable at this spot for the next 4 years of my life, because that's not just where I'm going to be competing, but that's where I'm going to go to get my education, where I'm going to be living for the next 4 years. So if I'm comfortable there, that's superior just for me and my family. So it was a no-brainer for me at the end. Once I got to the decision, I made my decision in September, the end of September, and we've taken it from there. And we're so excited to start in the next 2.5 months. Go down there, start classes and everything, start training, and just work to be the best.
What do you look forward to the most starting your college career at UGA?
Ooh, that's a hard question, you know. I mean, I think just getting that next level of training. I've definitely been seeing, my dad says a lot too, he sees that he's starting to reach a plateau in his training prowess. We've been doing this for 11 years now, but he's starting to reach a plateau in the technique stuff that he's giving me. And we know just picking through the head coach's brain, Petros Kiprianou down there at Georgia, we know that he's a guru. When he wants to do something, he's gonna do it. He's not just your average coach. He's like, I want to say he's the Godfather. He actually said it to us when he was on our home visit. He's like, I would say this about myself, I am the Godfather, but I'm still too young right now. So he's like, I'll just put that aside. But I definitely would say that he's Godfather type of status, just the way that he conducts himself. He's very much too like my dad, that he wears his emotions on his sleeve, but he doesn't take any mess. And I know it's going to be crazy work, but I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to pick his brain, have him pick my brain, and just get after it.
So what do you think separates you from the rest of the track runners in your age bracket, or who may be considered on your level of competition?
My mentality, definitely. I know, seeing me, I'm physically a lot bigger than kids, but I mean, I've seen that definitely does not matter in track and field. But especially doing the decathlon, it's all mental. Knowing that you have 5 events on one day, and your body and mind is tired, especially in the heat, but you have to come back for a second day with 5 more events. So just transitioning your mind to be able to tell your body to do that. My dad and I, we both work. If you can tell your mind to do something, your body will easily follow after it. So just living by that, especially, it's helped me throughout this decathlon, and just to be able to put up crazy numbers that most high schoolers can't put up.
So what is your greatest accomplishment in life thus far?
I definitely have to say making the USA team. It was an incredible experience for me, and I knew that I was going to go into that team and just have a good time. But then to be able to come out as well and bring home a medal, to be the youngest athlete to ever make the Pan American under 20 team, being that I just turned 17. I was competing against guys 19, almost 20 years old. Like so being a young kid and to be on that podium, to see me and my teammate, we went 1-2 in the decathlon, just to be able to stand up there and hold that USA flag behind my head, and to walk around there with pride, to look down, see the 3 letters USA across my chest. It was, man, it leaves me speechless a lot of the times, just to be able to say that I was a part of Team USA and that I represented my country and was able to do well and come home with hardware.
We know that you are family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
So how has your family played a role in your success?
My family has played probably the biggest role in my success. I know that what I do is for me, but at the same time, I know I do it for my family as well. Just to see them support, and it's not even my blood family, just the family around me, my city. Like I call it my city. Like I come home, and I know I have my family with me, like my extended family, not blood family. I consider you guys as well as family, and just to do that, and to be able to do that for y'all, just to bring y'all with me, and to really experience it with all you guys. Actually, my aunt passed away maybe 2 months ago, and that was probably one of the hardest things that I've had to go through. My mom's sister, and but the thing was, I was actually at my house, and my dad called me, and he told me, he said your aunt passed away. I said, like, my mind went through so many different thoughts at that moment, because it was like, wait, I was just talking to her on the phone like yesterday, like what's going on? Like this can't be happening. But to come to find out, it actually was happening. And my first thought wasn't just to be home and just to cry in my house, not just because I felt sorrow, but I was right there. I hopped right in my car, drove over to my cousin's house, and I was right there for him. That's like what I do, and I love my family. I love my aunt Dessa is her name, and I take her with me wherever I go. I'm not a huge guy on tattoos either, but what I do is, instead of having a tattoo, I don't think I need to like ink my body up like that, but at the same time, I'll take a Sharpie and I'll write her name on my forearm, or write her name or her initial somewhere on my body, just to know that she's with me, because she's actually not on this earth to do it with me, as my village is here to do it. So just to know that she's with me, just that she's in my heart. I pray every time before a competition, and just to feel her spirit inside of me at that time, it drives something in my brain to drop these crazy numbers that I drop week after week after week. And I know my body's tired, but I'm still able to do it because I know I have her with me. She's my guardian angel, and I love that she's able to do that for me. So just knowing that I have my village behind me back at home, and that I have my aunt with me with the man upstairs. I mean, the Lord Jesus Christ, that's what I do. We're also he's probably the biggest part of my family. Like, my dad's my father, but he's my Lord and Savior, my rock and my father. So just to have both of them up there with me is something crazy. I mean, I'm getting emotional now, trying to hold the tears back, but you know, it's what I do, and I'm very passionate about my family and what I do for them. Just to be able to give back to y'all, give back to my family and everything is nothing like it.
So what is your ultimate goal in track and field, and describe any other goals that you might have off the field?
Well, on the field, like I said, I'm really dedicated with this thing. Being able to come out here on the track and do what I love day after day, week after week, is I wouldn't give that up for the world. So just when I'm done with it, I want to be able to say that I'm the best to have ever done this, the best to have ever stepped on the track and to compete in the decathlon. That's my ultimate goal. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Ashton Eaton, what he's done, his 9,045 point decathlon world record score, but that's in the back of my head every time I step on the track. I'm like, that's what I'm going to get. Like, that's right there. That's on the tip of my tongue, basically, and I'm going to attack that. But I really want to be the best to have ever stepped on this track, and the best to have ever competed in the decathlon. Off the field, I know that track is not going to be able to stay with me for 40, 50 years. At most, it'll be with me 10 to 12 years after I graduate college. So I know I have to be able to start a life. I know I'll be starting marriage, maybe have kids and such like that. So I want to be able to hold it down, you know, be able to provide for my family, do what I got to do, As I just talked about, my family is my biggest thing. So be able to give back to my family, give back to the community.
If you could share one piece of advice to a rising athlete in the track realm, what would it be?
Um, Me having ran track, I've done a lot of interviews, and a lot of my interviews end with this question. So I'm always prepared when this question comes up. But I definitely would start off by saying, if at this level, especially at this level, it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifices come into this, but also time management. So just being smart about managing your time, knowing and being a student in what you have to do, what you have to eat, the amount of hours you have to get like sleep and stuff. Like, a lot of people think I'm weird that I say I go to sleep at 10 o'clock. Like, I don't care. Like, if I'm healthy, if I'm growing right. I mean, now you see I'm 6'5". I mean, I'm sitting down, but I'm 6 feet 5 inches tall at 17 years old. So I mean, being healthy and just feeding my body right is definitely huge piece. But I like to say a lot to a lot of younger athletes, and especially athletes at my age as well. Just remember to be your own individual. It's always going to come a time where somebody is trying to take you down. Somebody is trying to see you fail. Like, not everybody's always going to be on your side. Not everybody's going to want to see you succeed, because they're not in the same position that you are. You're going to have those people that are coming for you, that want to see you do well, that want to uplift you, that want to push you up. But at the same time, for every one person that's going to be wanting to push you up, there's going to be 2 to 3 people that want to take you down. And that weight can always be a lot heavier than somebody that wants to see you succeed. So in the end, you have to be that one person, the strongest person, to really uplift yourself and just be your own individual. A lot of athletes on the track, you got to stay in your lane, but it's like that same type of concept, but in life, you got to stay in your lane the whole time. I mean, there's always going to be some distractions. There's going to be somebody on your right side, somebody on your left side that's trying to either box you in, somebody that's trying to push you out, somebody that's trying to take you down. But if you stay in your lane, that's the smartest thing for you to do, because there's no obstacles there. I mean, if you're doing hurdles, there's going to be an obstacle. But but just getting back on the point, to be smart and to stay focused, to have tunnel vision. That's what I give a lot of kids. I'm Kyle Garland, here with Rising Athletes, and we are on the rise.